Can you convert Jinhao 51A into an eyedropper? The short answer is yes. However, you have to pay attention what you are using in order to successfully make it an eyedropper. As you probably already know by now, Jinhao 51A comes in a few variations, and you will have variations that comes with an acrylic barrel and ones that are coming with a wood barrel. The problem with the wood barrel is that the wood is not actually stabilized. So basically, if you would put anything in it, like water or ink or whatever you want, most probably eventually in time the water or the ink will start to go through. Probably the wood will swallow, and at the same time the batter will probably start getting a different color. Another thing that I noticed with the barrel is that the staining that they're using, it's actually not the best stain. If you use a little bit of water on a napkin and you try to clean it, the stain will actually come out. So you gotta be careful how you clean, basically, and try and don't keep it in the water. And definitely don't try and clean it in an ultrasonic or anything like that. The other bad thing about this is that the metal part, the wood barrel actually comes with a metal insert, which again is not ideal for ink. So when considering an eyedropper, make sure you don't use a wood barrel. Choose one of the acrylics. The other thing that to keep in mind is if you go for the hooded, or better said, semi-hooded, I guess, because it doesn't really hide the entire nib. So if you go with the semi-hooded option, the problem with it is that it actually comes with metal threads. Why the hooded options is the best option for the metal barrel, for the wood barrel, because of the metal threads. This doesn't really make it a good option for as an eyedropper. However, wood barrels and semi-hooded sections are perfect match, I would say, because you'll have metal on metal, and in time you won't actually screw up the threads on the barrel. With this aside, the next option is this, which basically it's acrylic with a normal section that actually shows the nib, and the nib is a number 5 nib. The great thing about this is that, well, first of all, you have more options with the nib. Sorry, trying to get a focus in here, there you go. The acrylic can easily be used for storage of ink, and the great thing about it, there is no metal insert, and at the same time the section itself comes with plastic threads. Now the problem with this is that you don't have a lot of threads in here. The good thing about it, however, not sure if I'm going to be able to show it on the camera, but somewhere in here, basically here, you have a little bit of a groove that will allow you to install an O-ring, which makes it pretty much perfect. While you might not have a lot of threads, you will have an O-ring in here that will make pretty good contact with the barrel, and at the same time it will keep the barrel from coming loose accidentally. Now what am I going to use for this? So I'm going to remove the converter. Come on, focus. Work with me. Okay, sorry, technical difficulties. Removing the converter. I have some O-rings in here. These O-rings are a little bit small for the section that I'm trying to use, but it will still work okay. It will be a little bit stretched, but it will be perfect fit for the battle. Now, the O-rings that I'm using, come on, work on me, focus. There you go. The O-rings that I'm using are about 4 to 5 millimeters wide and 1 millimeter thick, or somewhere in there. I'm going to use this, some tweezers, just to stretch a little bit and hopefully help. And it flew away. I'm going to get another one. We'll find the other one a little bit later. So yeah, be careful with this. Once they go, they go. They're pretty tiny. Okay, so I'm going to be using the tweezers. Hopefully be more careful this time. I have big hands, so this will be a little bit of a task. There we go. Now I'm just going to drive that O-ring down all the way down there. Okay, so now, patience, there we go. Basically, we have our O-ring sitting right here. Nice and snug. And making a quick test with the barrel. Yeah, it's perfect fit. I can feel the O-ring grabbing on the barrel. And then if I twist it, I can actually, I need a little bit of torque to actually remove it. Okay, cool, this is perfect. Now the next thing that we want to do is actually add some silicone grease. What I'm using is this Super Lube O-ring, silicone lubricant. It's perfect, it's basically the electric, food grade, and clean. I've been using it on a lot of fountain pens, never had any issues. It's perfect for what I need. I'm gonna put some of it on a cotton. What about there? It's perfect. And now, come on. Now I'm gonna add on the threads. Be generous about it. Make sure you get some on the O-ring as well. Okay. Gonna try again. Perfect, nice and smooth. No issues. Alright, the next thing that we'll have to do, basically, is fill it up with ink. I'm gonna use this syringe. Well, sort of a syringe. It's like a piston converted into a syringe. I'm gonna grab the ink. Give me a second. What I'm gonna use is this Noodler's ink, golden brown. Pretty nice ink. I like it. But before doing that, one ideal thing to have around, if possible, something like this, something that is solid, something that sort of has a hole in it, so you can put the barrel in there and kind of keeps it from moving around. This way you won't spill it by mistake. Just making some room in here. I just want to open this here, so I'm not gonna make a lot of mess. Oh, actually, this ink is good to actually first agitate it a little bit. Cool. And actually, another thing that I wanted to do, since these nibs are removable, or actually you can change them with something else, I wanna use a different nib. So I'm not a big fan of the size that I have in there. I'm planning to use this for doing some drawings, and as such, I want a much finer nib, like an extra fine. And I have this Hondian, hope I'm saying it right. That is a perfect fit on this fountain pen, and it's an extra fine. What I like about this nib is also black, and the underside actually is not coated, which is perfect. Cool. Anyway, let's go into putting ink in this barrel. This barrel is going to hold quite a lot of ink, so it's going to take a little bit. I'm halfway. Okay. Okay, I'm almost there. Basically try and fill it up just before the thread starts. Just need a little bit more. Perfect. Tap this. Put it aside. And slowly pick it up. You can see probably the ink in there, if it focuses. Come on. That much. Alright, this is quite secure in there. Put a cap down. Nib down. Gonna leave it there for a little bit. And hopefully soon I'll be able to actually use it. This is some generic notebook. I even forgot what I got it from. But based on my test, the paper is actually pretty good for inks. Just done that out. There we go. Already writing. First time I'm using this nib. Doesn't seem to be like the most fine one, but the most smooth one. However, it writes. There's no spill. No, I got ink on my hands. There's no spill. And this is it. Come on. Anyway, the other thing that I want to do now is actually put it through its pace and test it out. See how things are going on. I'm going to be doing a drawing. First of all, I just want to see how he writes. Yeah, definitely needs a little bit of smoothing. Especially on side to side. But anyway. Pretty cool. It works. Now what I'm gonna do off camera, I'm gonna do a little bit of smoothing on the nib. And then I'm gonna do a drawing. See how things are going, see if I have any issues with it. Especially with ink flow. I'm gonna speed up through this process, and at the end I'll tell you my conclusions. Thanks. All right, so I'm back. I've been drawing for the past hour and a half, or something like that. Not sure. It's quite late right now. It's wow 1 a.m. The ink flow, it's actually pretty good. I don't think there are any issues. I haven't seen any leaks. I've been constantly using since I was done. As you probably seen at the beginning, I actually did a little bit of smoothing using my 1200 grit, and also did a little bit of flossing because the knee was not too wet. And I'm actually very happy with the setup. With the ink that I have in it, I'm not 100% sure if I'm really happy about it, but as I was drawing, I kind of got a hang of it. This thing doesn't seem to dry very fast, and at one point in time I actually tried to erase the pencil lines, and what happened, not sure if you'll be able to see, some smudges kind of happened. And then I wasn't exactly sure how much shading I can actually do. So at the beginning I was kind of trying to feel the pen and maybe get it going, trying to figure out how the actual ink flows, how much shade I can actually add to it. And as I was drawing this, I finally kind of hit me. I was like, oh hey, I can actually use it just like a pencil, and then kind of build on it. And when I started doing the, I guess, the desert or the floor or the whatever you want to call it, I kind of started to get the feeling of it, and I liked it. It's the first time I'm trying this paper, and the first time I'm trying to draw with this ink. I'm not sure if I'm going to draw with it again. It's not waterproof, and at the same time kind of has, I mean, I don't like the idea that it doesn't dry very fast. I can easily smudge it, and I don't like that. But who knows, maybe I might give it a try later on again. So this is how you pretty much make a eyedropper out of a 51A. Seems to work. No issues with the flow. The only downside, obviously, you won't be able to tell how much ink you have. What you can do is actually rotate it this way, maybe shake it a couple of times so the ink flows back into the barrel, open it, look inside, see how much you have, and then put it back in. What I can tell you is this is not going, I'm actually hold it very tight from the section, and it's spinning on my hand. I don't know if you can see from fingers. So this thing is not going to come off any easily. Obviously, if you really put your muscle into it, it will break free. But it works. I love it. I think I'm going to convert all my 51As to eyedroppers. That's a lot of ink. I don't remember how many syringes I put in, but this, when I measured that, it holds about 0.6 milliliters. So make the math. 0.6 times how many times I actually put ink inside. That was my job. Anyhow, I hope you enjoyed this video. Sorry if it was a little bit too long, but my first video, learning. I gotta start some more, I guess. Oh, one more thing. So, if you don't like this cap, I don't know if you know, there's such a thing as a 51 Jinhao. Not 51A, 51. Usually the barrel is a little bit long. However, I really like the caps on the 51 compared with the 51A. And they're a little bit shorter too. However, the way it caps the pen, it's very smooth. This one feels a little bit gritty because it actually rubs against this metal here. And you actually feel it, it's like, it's annoying. This works beautifully. I tried to find them to buy only the caps, but I couldn't find. However, as a final tip to improve your 51, try and get a hold of one of these caps, and it fits in perfectly. Actually looks pretty good for what it is. Anyhow, thank you for joining me. Thank you for watching my video, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.